Well, well, well. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, how are y'all doing here today? I'm going to be changing the title here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a pretty disgusting, wild story here from an HBCU, historically black college and university. First of all, hello, good evening, everybody. This is your boy Marwan, Mind Over Matter TV. Can y'all hear me okay? Everything seems to be working all right on my end. The audio's good. Everybody's here. This is a story, a true story, and we're dealing with a lawsuit at this point. Up to date, recent story here about, and it happened on a college campus of all places, where the college campus is seen to be in loco parentis, meaning the college campus is still acting like a parent, a guardian for the kids attending the university. All right. In local parentis, which means even though you're in college and living away from home, that your college still has the responsibility to sort of act like a local parent. Let's see what's going on in the special. Some universities are known as HBCUs, like Coppin State. Basketball player files sexual assault, blackmail lawsuit against the school, ladies and gentlemen. A former Coppin State basketball player, meaning he's no longer on the team, files a sexual assault and blackmail lawsuit against the school, y'all. Have you heard of this case? Has anyone in the chat heard of this case already? The name of the school is called Coppin State, where apparently one of the professors attempted to cop a field. Did he do more than just attempt to cop a field at Coppin State? Did he do more than just that? I will let you listen to some of the story.
This is Lucian Brownlee. He's a former basketball player and assistant head coach at Coppin State University. He's accused of posing as a woman online and forming a relationship with Eben Williams, who's also now a former player from Coppin State. As the relationship developed, he convinced Williams to send him new photos of himself. And Williams did it, but when he tried to end the online relationship, Brownlee, posing as a woman, told him he had to send more or he was going to be exposed. Williams didn't want to lose the scholarship, so he continued to send more photos. Williams at the time then approached him and told him he was also being extorted by the same person. The online person told him that him and Williams had to have sex together, put it on video, and send it to her, or they would both be exposed. This dude's nuts. But Williams didn't want to lose a scholarship, so he agreed to do it. So he had the encounter with his coach, but it didn't end there. The online person continued to make requests of Williams, but this time Williams said, "I'm not doing it anymore." But once he refused, Brownlee, posing as the woman, released the videos. And then enters Juan Dixon, the head coach, the former basketball star at the University of Maryland, and the former NBA alum. He saw the videos and pictures, and he spoke with the basketball player. He admitted that he hired Brownlee knowing that he had a mental health issue, but he took no action to remedy the situation. So Williams asked for his own investigation. He reported it himself. But a lawyer from Coppin State University grilled Williams about his side of the story. And then they took away his scholarship. They terminated it. He ultimately transferred to another. This is Lucian Brownlee. He's a former basketball player and assistant head coach at Coppin State University. He's accused of posing as a woman online and forming a relationship with Eben Williams, who's also now a former player from Coppin State. As the relationship developed, he convinced Williams to send him new photos of himself. And Williams did it, but when he tried to end the online relationship, Brownlee, posing as a woman, told him he had to send more or he was going to be exposed. Williams didn't want to lose the scholarship, so he continued to send more photos. Brownlee, who was Williams' coach at the time, then approached him and told him he was also being extorted by the same person. And that online person told him that him and Williams had to have sex together, put it on video, and send it to her, or they would both be exposed. This dude's nuts. He's gonna lose a scholarship, so he agreed to do it. So he had the encounter with his coach, but it didn't end there. The online person continued to make requests of Williams, but this time Williams said, "I'm not doing it anymore." But once he refused, Brownlee, posing as the woman, released the videos. And then enters Juan Dixon, the head coach, the former basketball star at the University of Maryland and the former NBA alum. He saw the videos and pictures, and he spoke with the basketball player. He admitted that he hired Brownlee knowing that he had a mental health issue, but he took no action to remedy the situation. So Williams asked for his own investigation. He reported it himself, but a lawyer from Coppin State University grilled Williams about his side of the story. And then
check this out,
they
yo.
took away his scholarship. They terminated it. He ultimately transferred to another. This is Lucian Brownlee. He's a former basketball player and assistant head coach at Coppin State University. He's accused of posing as a woman online and forming a relationship with Eben Williams, who's also now a former player from Coppin State. As the relationship developed, he convinced Williams to send him new photos of himself. And Williams did it, but when he tried to end the online relationship, Brownlee, posing as a woman, told him he had to send more or he was going to be exposed. Williams didn't want to lose the scholarship, so he continued to send more photos. Brownlee, who was Williams' coach at the time, then approached him and told him he was also being extorted by the same person. And that online person told him that him and Williams had to have sex together, put it on video, and send it to her, or they would both be exposed. This dude's nuts. But Williams didn't want to lose a scholarship, so he agreed to do it. So he had the encounter with his coach. But it didn't end there.
He didn't want to lose his scholarship, ladies and gentlemen. And you heard a horrifying story, a very sick design by this assistant basketball player. You heard about this bronze flat power guard? You heard about this? This is really hot off the presses. Former Coppin State University basketball player at an HBCU is taking legal action against the school, y'all, claiming that his assistant coach sexually assaulted and blackmailed him. We're talking about revenge porn type stuff. This is disgusting. As the Baltimore Brew reports, Eben Williams, the former basketball player, college, HBCU, he thought he was speaking to a woman through social media when he sent her explicit texts and nudes of himself in the fall of his freshman year. That's mistake number one. He sent his nudes to someone he thought was a woman in the fall of his freshman year. That's his mistake number one. You never know who you're sending your stuff to. What he didn't know was that he was allegedly communicating with a staff member, Lucian Brownlee, who used to play there and served as director of player development. This complaint accuses Brownlee of manipulating the kid into sending his nudes and racy, sexually explicit sexting, texting. Brownlee allegedly, this staff member, this director of player development, this director of basketball operations at an HBCU, allegedly blackmailed a kid into recording sex with him. How disgusting is that? The kid, Eben Williams, reportedly was enticed into sending images of himself to this person of a sexual nature that he believed were private and in the context of developing romantic relationship with a woman. His complaint details how this staff member, this director of player development, ordered the two men to have sex, both of them. And the kid initially refused. He was like, nah, I gotta have sex with the man. But once the fall semester began during school, where you're at the school, supposed to be your local parent, this kid complied with whoever this blackmailer was demanded he record and send a video to him engaging in oral sex. Oh no, Coppin's head coach, Juan Dixon, is also there on the complaint for failing to support the kid by taking appropriate action upon learning of this director of player development's actions. This kid was also required to attend basketball practice as news of the incident rocked the university. The whole school, y'all, Coppin State University, is named in the complaint after officials retaliated against the kid by reportedly withholding his financial aid, his scholarship, his housing, blaming the athlete for all this negative media coverage in connection with this. So this kid's attorney was like, the way he was treated was abhorrent. This director of player development, Brownlee, was a senior when Williams learned from him in the spring of 2019 that Brownlee also exchanged sexual content with plaintiff's tormentor. When the kid, Williams, refused to send more of his sexually explicit pictures, this director of player development leaked the video, the sex video. He leaked it. When the harassing text continued through 2018 and 2019, the kid, Williams, feared losing his scholarship and his place in the basketball program, his tuition, his room and board, everything. So he continued to respond to the person messaging him in a futile attempt to appease his tormentor. Listen, y'all, the back and forth between Williams and this blackmailer allegedly continued through March of 2020. We talking a couple years, until it apparently became clear by way of information and belief that this director of player development, who now is a coach, is in fact the blackmailer. Oh no, Coppin State University supposedly has an anti-sexual harassment policy, but it took no action to figure all this out with this student. They believe this director of player development was the catfisher the whole time. There's a belief that school should never have hired this director of player development because of his past issues with mental illness that the university was aware. So this is absolutely nuts, y'all. He ultimately finished his last semester at Coppin State University by way of remote before he transferred to another university to complete his degree requirements. But this is what he had to deal with. Has anybody heard this story? First time luminous? Oh my goodness. This is totally a true story. Brother, at Coppin State University. And if you hear the story, you hear this is a black coach. This is a black coach we're dealing with. These are black students. This is an HBCU. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. We've got to wait a minute. This is an HBCU, ladies and gentlemen. Coppin State basketball. Just trying to get an education, y'all. And his coach is trying to fake like he's a woman, contacting this basketball player. Well, now he's a coach, but in 2018, 2019, he was trying to contact this basketball player, trying to get him to send some texting to him while acting like a woman over the text, acting like a romantic relationship type of thing. And then this woman that he thought was a woman sending his dick pics, This woman tells him he's got to go sleep with the dude, and the dude is the woman. So he's basically saying, you got to come sleep with me and take a video of it. This is crazy, y'all. This is absolutely, absolutely nuts, but it is a true story of a HBCU in Maryland. As you can see, there's a few different stories on it. I just showed you one that was 23 hours ago. But look at this LGBTQ craziness. This is, can you say predator? Can anybody say predator of the worst kind? This dude turned into a catfish on purpose, acted like a female to blackmail former, oh my goodness. At an HBCU, y'all, historically black university college. He came there to avoid the weirdo, the weird stuff, the strange looks, the gaze at his, at him maybe by some get out type of crowds. He tried to stay away from all that. He goes to the HBCU for safety, for a sense of family, home, culture. He goes to this HBCU for a sense of self. And it's incumbent upon the staff members and the coaches, and especially the director of student development, the director of player development. You're responsible for their development. And look at what you allegedly did, Mr. Brownlee. You ended up making him have oral sex with you. Can you all see this? Oh my goodness, look at this. In this lawsuit, he was accused again. Listen, you got to hear this story again, of catfishing a former player. And he posed as a woman in an online relationship with this player. A black man posed as a woman just online. This black man, by way of posing as a woman, persuaded the student to send photos and sexual text messages. Oh my God. Now, this person that he was sending his text to, they threatened to release all of it if he didn't send more sexual images. He said he gave in to all that. The student said, okay, because I'm afraid of losing my scholarship. And you've got to ask yourself, this is unbelievable. He continued to respond to the person messaging him in a futile attempt to appease his tormentor. Oh my goodness. I tweeted about this a few weeks ago. Juan Dixon really allowed this, and Coppin State still has him as head coach. If you know his story from when he was in Maryland, it makes it crazier that he didn't get rid of this dude right away. Coppin basketball, ladies and gentlemen, it is a huge scandal at an HBCU. Did we mention that, by the way? HBCU. And it's like, are you serious? I'm gonna read some of these comments to you all so you all can hear what more people are saying, and you'll get a sense of the community's reaction to this, because again, this is at an HBCU. A director of student development, player development, HBCU now. This is a Christmas story, a horrible Christmas. We all agree that maybe it was bad judgment on the player for sending the nude photos. He still could have been black. You all can still be blackmailed by anyone. This is lesson number 1. All of y'all can at any point be blackmailed because you're silly, you're dumb, and you're sending all your stuff online. Be very, very careful. One person says, I have sympathy for this kid because people are evil. But I don't think I would have fallen for this even in high school, and I was born way before the catfish digital age. Young brothers, please use your common sense. Please use your common sense, y'all. This HBCU director of student development, important, y'all. Someone else said this. I feel very sorry this happened to this young man. Very sorry when it happens to anyone, but have to be appalled that the writer of this article sees this horrible crime as something for Netflix industry. This is not entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, what a terrible experience at this particular HBU. Your thumbnail is now that's me. I'm in the thumbnail right now. I'm going to show a picture of the this is the head coach who did nothing. I'm going to show pictures of the people involved. The head coach that did nothing is this man right here. The head coach, Juan Dixon, that did nothing is this man right here. The next man we're going to be looking for is Brownlee. Brownlee. We're going to get to a picture of Brownlee. Brownlee. There's the picture of the kid right there, as you can see. Coppin State, and then Brownlee. We're going to see pictures of these people. We're going to see pictures of these people right now. Get a good look of who we're dealing with. Here is the disgusting dude who's acting like a woman. They're calling him some sort of a rapist because he's sort of, you know what I mean? Here he is, another picture of the actual individual in question who was doing the catfishing, who tried to act like he was a woman just so this player here, which says he's a victim of revenge porn and sexual assault at the hands of now assistant coach Brownlee. Assistant coach Brownlee. And this is a very disgusting, unfortunate Coppin State. This is a terrible, terrible story, but we want to really get a picture of these people that are out here doing these things to these boys at HBCUs. Here's another picture of this man. I don't know if you can see him. Yeah, dudes, but he was performing at least over the phone as a woman. This woman says you have to do something with this man or you're going to be in trouble. He does things with this man and it gets really, really disgusting. Disgusting. We had to make sure we at least expose these people for exactly what in the world they are, because it is pretty disgusting. And we're going to visit this page right here and see if we can see some more people, because we should be outraged. It's disgusting. It's sad. This disgusting individual could not keep his hands to himself. He could not actually keep any of that. And it's unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. We're going to check another part out right here on Twitter. Thank y'all for stopping by real quick because of this horrible, horrible story and the many reactions. This is a lawsuit in the happening right now, as you can see, in light of recent Coppin State University news regarding basketball coach assistant coach Lucian Brownlee, rapist hired by Mr. Dixon, and former student Ibn Williams. I'm doing this thread to let y'all know why this is serious. Ibn Williams attended Coppin State University from 2018 to 2020, and almost immediately after starting his freshman year, he was contacted by a woman on social media that was romantically interested in him. The woman in question was his assistant basketball coach, Lucian Brownlee, and we saw the picture. Said woman lured him into sending her intimate photos, videos, and text, sending her dick pics and all that stuff. Did she send anything back? Did this kid get anything back from her? I don't know. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say it. It doesn't say she returned the favor by way of texting with these sexting videos. This went on for a couple of years, just the sending of dick pics. And after the first few sessions, the woman, which was really a man, blackmailed the kid into sending him more and more photos. So there's starting to be some blackmail going on. Basically saying this ain't no love thing. You're gonna keep doing this and or whatever. So it started to get nasty and more predatorial and sinister. She says, last thing I'll do is share the visuals, but the victim was coerced into committing painful sexual acts and was visibly upset. We should say homosexual acts. However, he did that to prevent previous content he sent out from getting leaked online. Damn. This guy posing as a woman kept increasing the demands, y'all. Spring of 2019, the student, Ibn Williams, was approached by his assistant coach. Oh, man. He was approached by his assistant coach, Brownlee. The assistant disclosed to him that he's been dealing with the same woman. Oh, no. And exchanging news with her just like him. Oh, no. Do y'all see this? Holy guacamole. What in the hell? What the fuck? He tells this other student, hey, by the way, man, that same woman made me do the same thing, man. But he was approached. This is scary and sick. He learned from the coach that they both have been exchanging their business with the woman. And then that woman ordered these two men to have sex with each other. The kid refused at first. Oh, the blackmailer, which was the coach, demanded that the student record and send a video of plaintiff. Oh, no. Conveniently enough, that woman, right, which was the man, hit that student up not too long after. And her next request was that she wanted to see Ibn have oral sex with the coach. Oh, no. This kid wasn't comfortable with it. He did end up listening to the blackmailer and complying because he was begged into doing it by a paranoid Brownlee. Not only was his stuff at the danger of getting leaked if he doesn't perform sex acts, so will his Brownlees, and he was guilted by Brownlee. So Brownlee, this gross, disgusting director of player and student development, was playing all types of games in the background and hit this kid with a guilt trip. The next one is, you may be okay with your own stuff being out there, but the responsibility of another person's intimate moments will put pressure on anyone. He was putting pressure on this kid, extra pressure because of what he thought this guy was involved in. And then Brownlee is begging him to just do what the blackmailer wants. This is crazy. Pretending to be so scared of the consequences. What type of sick, demented game is this dude playing? He's sitting there with this dude. He's like, yo, man, please, dude, do whatever this chick gotta say, man. Come on, man. Just do whatever she gotta say, man. Just do whatever, bro. We gotta do it, man. I'm telling you, we have to. It's just because our reputation's on the line. Come on, man. Can y'all believe that? He went through all this trouble. This was his assistant coach, y'all. Someone he thought he was going through the same experience as him at the same time. He doesn't want to mess his life up, so he just does it, assuming it will be a shameful secret that them two would share, not knowing that the blackmailer is Brownlee himself. Damn, an assistant coach's duty is to coach his students as well as protect them, right? Not prey on them and rape them, which Brownlee had been doing. He had several complaints against him already prior to head coach Juan Dixon giving him the position of the assistant coach. Oh no. Acquiring salacious videos and photographs of Ibn wasn't enough for this catfish, this grown man director of student development. Neither was having mutual oral sex with coach enough. Coach, the catfish himself. The catfish's next move was attempting to coerce Ibn into having actual sex with his coach, y'all. This is disgusting. The blackmailer instructed the student that his coach was going to coordinate a sexual encounter with him. This kid resisted, hoping that his non-response would stop this whole blackmailing. Prompting warnings, the blackmailer would wild out. Williams sent videos of himself, but the blackmailer insisted on one of himself having sex with Brownlee, sending repeated messages providing Coach Brownlee's availability. The back and forth continued through March of 2020. By information and belief, the person doing the blackmailing was Coach Brownlee. This is something Ibn wasn't willing to do, y'all, despite this fellow victim, which was also his rapist, being more than willing to do it. So this is gross. And being the one to coordinate it all, he sent some more solo videos to this catfish, hoping it would suffice. But the catfish wouldn't budge. This student's nightmare was not letting. The threats and demands got progressively worse from this director of player and student development. This kid started contemplating suicide, too ashamed to tell his loved ones what was truly bothering him. He claimed it was the rampant drug use on the team, not one of his coaches begging him for sex. Because that's what it ended up being. His coach started begging him for sex. But he was doing it in a way to sort of satisfy this blackmailer that was blackmailing both of them, allegedly. So he was unable to tell anyone. So his father arranged a meeting with Coppin State officials in which Juan Dixon, the coach, indicated that he was helpless to address the drug issue in any meaningful way. And he was saying that the student should stay with the program. All right, zero compassion. Juan Dixon, the coach, was also adamant that the student stay with the program which had him facing a fanatical assistant coach, practically begging and trying to force him into having sex with him under the guise of also being threatened by a woman catfish. But that woman was the coach. The student, Ibn Williams, had realized at this time that the catfish would never give up and would keep demanding more and more content from him. The solo videos of him in indecent positions, forced to commit acts he was uncomfortable with, weren't enough. Neither was oral sex with the coach. So he sucked the coach's dick, bro. Oh, no. Or maybe it was the other way around. Oh, it was just disgusting. After Ibn returned to campus in the fall of 2020, everybody dealing with COVID and all that shit, the threats and the blackmail started again. This coach, pretending to be a woman, was trying to coerce him into having sexual relations with himself again. Ibn chosen not to reply this time, so the catfish ended up leaking all his nudes. This disgusting, perverted, predator, nasty dude leaked this kid's nudes. This was a weird game. This is sick. They published it and revealed to members of the team, to the staff, and to the public, all to get this is disgusting. He wanted some sex with this kid, or else your whole reputation will be destroyed with all of these leaked videos of him in weird, compromising positions with no clothes on. The naked images and videos were sent to his teammates, the coaches, put online for other members of the public. It's still on the internet somewhere. He's a victim in all of this, distraught. He was left distraught and devastated. Head coach made that student come to practice a day after 2 years of intimate videos and pictures of him, as well as a sex tape with the coach, got leaked. Come to practice. At this point, they had put two and two together and knew the coach was the one tormenting Ibn. However, instead of lending that student some empathy, the coach, Juan Dixon, tried to excuse his assistant coach's behavior by claiming it was caused by his mental illness and that his history was known to Coppin State already. Despite all that, despite the prior allegations against Coach Brownlee, Dixon hired him as assistant coach. A rapist that curates a plan that sinister and carefully thought out is not a first-time offender at all. They were aware of his sinister nature and had him on their staff. Shout out to She Take a Man at Orinthia Blue. They gave Brownlee a position where he had authority over the students, and he used it for his own disgusting, lewd, and lascivious benefit. He digitally and physically took sexual advantage of Ibn Williams for 2 entire years and wasn't going to stop. If you were privy of his behavior, why did you hire him? Not to mention, Coppin State University's sexual misconduct policy prohibits all of that. Ibn Williams was a victim of all these things: sexual exploitation, coercion, retaliation, stalking, quid pro quo, sodomy, rape. On the contrary, the lawyer at Coppin State gaslit and victim blamed Ibn Williams for all he had endured, something that further traumatized him and made him feel shame. It's cringeworthy. Coppin State University ended up terminating Ibn Williams's housing and his tuition assistance, which is something the catfish told him would happen, and he was forced to move back to his own hometown and complete his semester remotely before transferring to Morehouse to complete his degree. Shout out to Morehouse. Coppin State University has a stricter punishment for the victim in all of this. While they let the rapist get away with it for so long, he was put in charge of the players, despite the school knowing about his prior allegations and his behavior. They didn't lend any support to the brother. Juan Dixon, it absolutely disgusts this person, She Take a Man, and all of us, that you had no compassion or sympathy for what Ibn Williams went through. And we are saying allegedly because this is now an official lawsuit. How can you, as a father of 2 teenage boys, feel no ways about someone else's son going through something that traumatic? You had a hand in hiring an assistant coach who ended up preying on and raping one of your players. How do you not have guilty conscience after that, Juan Dixon? Ibn Williams was 18 years old when his nightmare began and 20 years old when it ended. He was more or less a child. More or less a child. Now, isn't that something, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you all for stopping and rolling here. They sat up there and hired that disgusting bastard. And you have a sexual assault, a rape of one black male to another. In the most sinister, disgusting way I've ever heard in my life, y'all. Who the hell is going to go through all these hoops and loops and whoop-de-whoops? Try to force people into doing all that with these weird little background games. And this is sick, y'all. This is some real sick shit. Coppin State University. This is not a reflection of the school. We want to say that up in front, not front and the bottom line. We're not here castigating all of the staff members at the school or anything like that. We're recognizing that no matter where you go, even if it's some comfort zone HBCU, no matter where you go, something could go down. And don't read my chat, Baron. Just had me cracking up, talking about, did they ever find that bitch? What a stank ass bitch she was, man. Wasn't she, man? How she just gonna make him do all that? She gonna try to, you know what I'm saying? She gonna be fuck that hoe. Fuck that hoe. That's all I gotta say. Fuck that hoe and hoes just like her. Like, what type of shit is that? Oh, Lord have mercy. But hey, thank y'all for reals for checking out me here on this channel here, Mind Over Matter. We're gonna keep doing some interesting news type of events, reactions. This is a very true story. Glad we were able to find the Twitter thread to break everything down. This is a real live lawsuit going on as we speak right now. Paperwork, discovery, everything. This really happened to a young man at an HBCU. And he was raped, y'all, in the horrible and the worst. This is disgusting. He had this kid thinking that he was going ahead and on getting some sort of a. He was. Oh my God, this is just crazy. So, hopefully, I'm gonna change the title because I made it rhyme, but I don't want to make it seem like it's some frivolous thing. The title now is HBCU assistant coach blackmails black male for his black tail. But that's not going to be the title. We're going to change that title as we just heard one of the sickest stories in the universe. Live a happy life for everybody out here. Stay away. Watch. You never know who you're dealing with. You never know who you're sending your business to. So you might want to keep that under wraps. You know what I mean? Forced fellatio, all that good stuff. Felt like he had to do it. Come on, man. Let's just get this over with. Let's go ahead and make this video real quick. And we're going to go ahead and send this so we can get this blackmailer off our back. Can you imagine what that sounded like? This disgusting assistant coach trying to go above and beyond to convince this other cat that they should get busy and make a video of it so that this blackmailing person that's blackmailing both of them. Oh, see, yeah, I would never have been part of that whole fiasco. I would have told the blackmailer to suck my dick, which probably would have fucked up and worked against me, but I probably would have been like, nah, get the fuck out of here, nigga. I ain't doing none of that. You're gonna have to blackmail me, nigga. Why? Yeah, number one, don't send your stuff. Don't give anybody a reason or opportunity to blackmail you, y'all. Straight up. Especially nobody that's not really, don't get involved in none of that. This is disgusting. And we're not going to get involved in any kind of victim blaming here. And I hope this lawsuit works out in his favor, y'all. Thank you again, y'all, for coming through. We are done with this story, and hopefully you'll have a very good night, y'all. All right? This is your boy, Marwan. A reminder over matter, y'all.